Hello and welcome to my favorite time of the week, which is Thursday mornings, where we get to come together and do a little stamping. So I will just wait for somebody to pop on, and that will be my cue to begin. But today's class is Upstyle Your Paper Pumpkin, and we're using the kit from May called The Best There Is, and it really is a good, great kit. All right, I've got two people watching, so that is my official cue, and it's Kat. Yay! I can count on Kat. I love it. Kat Langford is here. Hello. Laura is here. Hello. So as I said, when someone says hello, there's my cue to say good Thursday morning and welcome to Seeing Ink Spots. This is my public page. And today's class is all about making some alternatives using a paper pumpkin kit. What's fun is to kind of reimagine, retool, rearrange, and take another look at the kit's contents. Now, the cards in this kit are absolutely fabulous. But we're going to do just a little bit of tweaking today. So Karen is watching as well. It's great to have you guys all here. I so appreciate you being here. Rose Carey says, I love how you reimagine. Thank you, Rose. That is really, really sweet of you. I appreciate your comment. And Karen says, good morning too. Okay, so lots to talk about. Let's just begin with a really cool announcement. Stampin' Up! Has a sale that started yesterday, and it's going to run to the end of the month. And you can save 10% on bundles. So if there is a stamp set and dies that are bundled together that you want, they're already discounted, but they're going to discount it again. So you can get it for another 10% off. That's a great, great, great deal. Also, the Big Shot, not the Big Shot, hasn't been a big shot here for a while. The Stampin' Cut Emboss machine and the mini one, they are both on sale as well. So I would encourage you, if there's something you're looking at, go for it this month and grab it on sale. And you know, while you're doing it, put it on my current host code, and you might earn something fun, a little extra, you know. All right, so let's give the camera a quick turn, and we will begin with a bit of business, and then we'll dive right in, right? All right, here we go. Here comes the hand, the part y'all hate. Here it is. Just a few seconds of kind of rearranging. Oh, and I'm really stuck today. There we go. The dials, you're getting my hand a little longer than normal, but the knobs on my, and there's my ceiling, and there's my desk space. So the knobs were, I had tightened them a little too tight. So here we go. All right, still working at getting a good focus here. Okay. Karen says, that's so great. You've had your eye on a few bundles. I know. I have my eye on some things as well. Okay. I think I'm almost, I'm dialed in. Yay. So today's class, we are upstyling. I will also be using today the Thanks and Beyond dies. I hope you have these. If not, I believe they are still available. So they are $12 and they are a pack of 4, and they coordinate with last month's Paper Pumpkin, The Best There Is, and the one that's coming later this month. So fabulous. Okay, what else is coming up? What else is in the works here, folks? Next week in the Backstage Pass, we will be using up our Sweet Thoughts, Memories, and More. So the card pack, the cards and envelopes, let's just get those used up and make some fabulous cards. And if you don't have this Memories and More, grab a different Memories and More that you have. Just have some fun, use up what you have. So Rose Carey says, I love those dies, you sent them to me. Yes, Rose Carey was a winner. And she got those dies. I'm so glad that you like those, because they really are an excellent little set of dies. Okay, so use it up. That's coming up next week. It's in the Backstage Pass. If you are not a member of the Backstage Pass, put a comment in here, whether you're watching live or a replay. say, how can I become a member? Or just hashtag be a member, or hashtag backstage. It's really easy to become a member. All right, so that's coming up. And the other thing coming up, registration closes on June 14th for Country Woods Studio Ink Spots. This is an online stamp camp. Kits can be mailed anywhere in the US. There is also a PDF version for those of you outside of the United States, or even for those who want the PDF version. But this is going to be fabulous. There's a presentation and game night on June 21st, and then we have 4 stamp sessions, the 27th through the 29th. There's a lot of awesome stuff happening here between card swaps virtually, and I already said presentations, stamp sessions, of course, there's 4 of them. There are 4 presentations as well. There are 4 presenters as well. And it's going to be really cool. So Kayleen says, you guys do not want to miss the Country Woods Camp. She's right. It is really going to be good. I've been working on it and things are coming together nicely. Rose Carey says she's registered. So I'm excited. Laura Holt is registered and she's blocked the days out. Oh, that's great. And Rose says she loved the Frames and Flowers event. I'm so glad to hear you say that. Frames and Flowers was last month's technique class and it was fun. Karen, no need to twist my arm. I'm registered. So glad to hear it. So I'm going to give you a really fast sneak peek. We're looking at doing a triple panel slide and lock. We're doing some clean and simple, and we're doing some noteworthy things. All right. So you got just a just a smidgen of a sneak peek at that. Carol Cadwell Van Nest is watching. Carol, I'm glad to have you here. I've not seen your name before. I apologize if you have watched, but welcome to my Upstyle class. Today's class is about the best there is paper pumpkin kit. I do have a few more announcements in the works for you guys. We will Upstyle next month on the first Wednesday of July. It'll be July 3rd, because for those of us here in the United States, it's the 4th of July. And here in Star, we have big, huge events all day long. So I'll be doing that. So anyhow, here is Upstyle. This will be Life is Sweet. That will be next month. Use it up in July. I'm going to focus on the Sweet Peas stamp set. Excuse me. It is a cute little set. And I'm going to be pairing that with some in colors. And here are the Sweet Pea stamps. Just thought you might like to see those. They're cute. Really, really cute. Let's see. And pickup returns. There won't be a pickup class in June because of the camp. But pickup returns in July, and it will be the tune-in bundle. Here is the tune-in bundle. So if you're kind of eyeing this, adorable, it's just kind of it's a spunky little set, and it has matching dies that are super cute as well. This is going to be a fun one. It's going to be cute. So that will be in July. That's coming up. And I also wanted to put a bit of info out there for July. Don't get too ahead of myself, right? July's technique time is the Mediterranean blooms. This is going to be fantastic. I will post on my blog is where you'll see the registration for that. But I'll be using this bundle, the Citrus Blooms bundle, for this Sweet Collection stamp class. Anyhow, so that one, either of these that you've seen today, you could put on your June orders so that you can get them at a discount because of Stampin' Up sale. All right, those are the announcements. Let's stamp. All right, let's see what we're going to do. For my first card, we're going to use elements from the kit and maybe a piece of linen thread. Yes, Kat, I do have a Coast code. I don't have it printed out right now. I guess I should. If you go to my blog, it's on the very top right border. It'll just say, I think it says current host code because it was kind of splitting the end of May, beginning of June. So that is the current one. I can tag you later with it. Okay, so these are the elements for this card. I'm going to use one of the brown card bases. So let's just give that a quick fold in half. Okay. And I'm using a couple of the elements here. So this is one of the pieces from the kit, but I think I'm going to use it this way. I think I'm going to use the white side. And here is another one of the labels from the kit. We're going to stamp that. And then I've already punched out several of the leaves. Okay, so there's a partial of a blue, the full of the wheat, and a full of the pool party right there. These are all elements from the kit. And then I also have one of the misty rectangles that's part of the kit. Kayleen, yes, we are going to make the album today. It will be the last thing that we do. So we're going to dive in with a few simples and then we'll get into that. So yes, we will make that from start. Well, the whole book, we'll make the whole book, but I'm not going to decorate the whole book, but I'll kind of break down what I did. Okay, so let's just keep going here. I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of on the front of, soon to be the back of. I'm just kind of changing it up. Okay, putting dimensionals on here, and I'm going to add this right to the center of this panel here, the one that they've given us. Just center that. And then I'm going to stamp this, and I'm going to stamp with the Misty Moonlight, okay? And I'm also going to stamp with a little Wild Wheat. I'm going to mix the colors up just a little bit. I like a two-tone look, so I'm going to do it. All right, I am using the Happy Father's Day to You. So I'm inking up the bottom half of this stamp with the Wild Wheat. And then with the Misty Moonlight spot that came, actually I'm going to go this direction because it's so small. With the spot that came in your kit or my kit here, I'm just going to tap across the top. And I'm going to stamp this on scratch paper first because possibly that blend of Wild Wheat and Misty Moonlight is going to get a little green. And I don't know that I want it to be super green. So I'm just going to test. Yeah, I think I'm going to switch. I'm not going to use Wild Wheat. Instead, I'm going to use Pool Party. So we're going to do the same thing. Do you guys do this kind of like try things out and then go, okay, yeah, I like it that way. I'll do it that way. Now, I had my cleanup pad. Now, where did it go? I've lost my, holy moly. I had it out. It was sitting right on my trimmer and now it's gone. Okay, well, there's always plan B, right? Can't believe I haven't even done anything with it. Okay, so there's our cleanup. This time we will try the Pool Party and Misty Moonlight. Give it just kind of a different look. All right, now let's see how this one looks. Yeah, I like that better. I like that better. So let me just do this a quick clean here. And I'm going to do the Happy Father's Day on top with the Pool Party. And then we'll do this other half on the bottom. We'll put the darker color on the bottom. This is why you stamp a little bit on your scratch paper before you go right to your label and then possibly go, oh man, I ruined it. But I am going to turn my card over. Let me open this up. You're going, how come it's taking her so long just to stamp one little thing? I'm putting it on my card base here so that I can see the difference between the white label and my white surface. That's the only reason why I've done that. Okay, so there's my greeting. And I'm going to glue, just kind of like they did in the kit, I'm going to glue my greeting label here to the blue that comes in the kit. And then we're going to just layer some of these pieces. So this is what I call, you know, basically just from the kit. We're not really adding a whole bunch of stuff to this card. Okay, that's going to come in here. And then we're going to take our leaves and we're going to arrange these. And they'll kind of be on top. And I'm thinking that this is rather straight up and down. I want it to have just a little bit more. See how this one has a curve? So I'm just going to chop this one in half so that I can rearrange my pieces just a little bit different. So just give them a little bit more shape. Bring this one around in here. Okay, and then I have the blue one. I'm not sure if I'm going to add the blue one or not. We'll see. I think I'm going to hold off on the blue. Makes it kind of fun to try different things. And then you guys tell me, it's a masculine card. And this is, I'm going to actually offset this just a little bit over to here. Should we, even though it's for a guy, should we add a little linen thread? So, and I would put this just kind of right behind where I normally would kind of put things. Anyhow, should we or should we not add a little bit of that linen thread? I sure like the way that linen thread just kind of ties things together. Freedom to design. I like that, Kayleen. All right, so while I'm waiting for linen thread or no coming from you guys, I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of the label here. Kat said yes. All right, she's the first one, so we're going with what she says. So I'm going to do that. And that is the card here, folks. So nothing super difficult. I'm just going to kind of layer these pieces here. Hold them the way I want. Okay, maybe turn this one just a little bit more. There we go. And I'm going to put just a little puddle of glue here. Maybe. I unclogged all my stuff. I was sitting here waiting for 10 o'clock to strike. And yes. Yes, sure thing. I love it, Daisha. Okay, so there's that. And this one I want underneath. Okay, simple here, folks. Simple, yet I'm already coated in glue. And I'm just putting a little spot of seal to hold my linen thread there. Okay, and then we'll add our greeting. And I am going to offset this just a little bit to kind of counterbalance all my greenery there. Got a little glue right there. And there you have it. Quick and easy peasy using elements from the kit. And we've got a little help from our linen thread. So really pretty much keeping in play with the design that Stampin' Up! Had, but just a slight retooling of their elements, right? So that was quick and easy. Let's keep it going. I have another one here. And with this one, I'm going to use one of the, Kayleen, you're funny, perfection. One of the crumb cake bases, and we'll just give it a fold. So keeping this clean and simple. And so this card kind of came together at the last as I was preparing things. And I had a whole bunch of the thanks die cuts, you know, in the colors from the kit here. So I have Pool Party, Espresso, Wild Wheat, Crumb Cake, Misty Moonlight, and then this beautiful color. Okay, so this beautiful color here is, let me tell you where this comes from. This pack right here is called Let's see if I can get this up to you guys. Textured metallic 12 by 12 specialty paper. And the 3 colors in this pack are bright copper, gold, and tungsten. So textured metallic paper. And this is the tungsten color. And you can see it kind of has a purpley blue cast, but it looks great with this kit. And so I had these, and the reason I have so many is because I knew I die cut them and I couldn't find them, so I die cut more, and that's why I have just about double of everything. So, but it, excuse me, it kind of led me to think I'm going to do just a really, really, really easy masculine card here. And all it's going to be is the Thanks die cut from Thanks and Beyond and this card base. And then on the inside, we'll stamp a greeting. How easy could that be? So all I'm going to do, folks, is I'm just going to run a whole series of the word thanks right down the right side. So it'll be a right justification. Okay. And I'm just going to kind of alternate my colors here. So that was wild wheat, and it's a skosh crooked. Let's get it straight. Oh, sure, it didn't stick, and now it does. And we can't have one crooked. It'll set the whole thing wrong. So, yeah, you guys, are you saying cool to that paper? Hello, Valerie. Good morning. Okay, that was wild wheat. Let's do a pool party. And I think I will do just a skosh more glue so I can wiggle it just a little bit more into place. Okay. And I'm going to put this one right underneath. Come down just a little bit, give it a little breathing room. Now I played with these. I kind of wiggled them all over the place. I did some, sideways, and I crisscrossed them. And then ultimately, I just really liked them just in a row all the way down. Here goes crumb cake. I also kind of like the way crumb cake and wild wheat, they're very similar colors. I just kind of like how they kind of, it's like they don't totally go together, but they kind of clash, but they kind of do. And I kind of like that, especially on this card base here. So this is crumb cake cardstock, but this is the crumb cake. And you can see on your kit that it has some texture, visual texture to it. It's not just a solid color. There are some highs and lows in it. Okay, I think I'm going to go to some Misty Moonlight. I think this will turn out nice, and, this will be a nice masculine thank you note, which I don't always have too many of. Whoops. I'm just trying to get it right in the right spot there. Okay. Now I'm going to do the tungsten color, and I'm tempted, since I have so many here, I think I'm going to finish with, I'll finish with, another crumb cake and a wild wheat. Let's see, do I have room enough? I think I might just finish with a wild wheat, and we'll just keep it, it's okay if it's a little, I've got a little more border on the bottom than the top, because I don't want to squeeze these in. Anyhow, I'm going to kind of play this one up just a little bit more. I'm going to make this one a little bit taller so that it stands out from the others just a little bit more. And rather than putting dimensionals on this, I'm going to use the other colors, the other die cuts that I have. And if you just stack a few of those, whether it's 2 or 3, it will just give you the dimension that you're looking for. So I think I'll do this other crumb cake so that it ties into my card base color. Okay, there's that. And we'll glue this right on top. And hopefully this gives this one just a little bit more, yeah, it does. The color and then the, And then the fact that it's popped up a little bit more, it does make that stand out and it looks really cool. So let's finish this and then we'll stamp a greeting to the inside and we'll have another one done pretty quick here. You guys are thinking, gosh, she's gonna be done in no time. Wrong. Okay. Whoops, I got glue in places that I don't want it, so I'm just trying to do a quick, kind of swiping it away. So Kayleen and I were chatting briefly, I think yesterday, about something about foil paper, and I don't quite know what we're talking about. She goes, well, you do something with it. And I go, I clean foil paper. Like say you get adhesive or glue on the front of a foil paper, you can't use an adhesive remover. It just makes a mess. And what I do is I use an alcohol swab. And you want to check it on a piece of scratch because some foil papers, it will take the color off. But say if I got glue on this Thanks on the front of it, luckily I don't. But if I had glue there, I would do just that little alcohol swab and it takes it right off. So if you're ever wondering how to remove adhesive from a nice piece of foil, test it first and then go for it. So you guys, that is what I'm going to do for the front, keeping it super, super simple, clean and simple. And let's stamp a greeting to the inside here. And I think that this would be perfect to say, you're the best there is, because it's just a big, huge thanks, right? And we'll stamp that in the Misty Moonlight, since that's kind of we highlighted the tungsten color. It's closest to this Misty Moonlight color. So let's use this one. And I'm just gonna do it right here in the center. You're the best there is. Just like that. Super clean and simple. I can't believe I did something quite so clean and simple. Now, you could, if you wanted to have some fun, add a little linen thread down this side. That could be really cool. You could also come in and add a few gems, which might pop this up and, elevate it just a skosh. So let's do it. I am using, these are the Basic Gray and Smoky Slate pearls. Okay, so I'm gonna do a few on the front here. Let's do a big, and I'm gonna do this, it said Basic Gray and Smoky Slate. I'm thinking that this is the Basic Gray because Basic Gray is darker. And I'm gonna do one there, kind of in that little scallops where it's kind of scooped out. And I'll do another big one, kind of right, It's like, where do I want to go? I think I'm gonna go here. Yep, they're in line. But then we'll break that up just a little bit. Get another, and I'm gonna go here. So, keeping it super, super simple still, but zhuzhing it up just a bit with a little bit of bling. Okay, that's card number 2. Wow, 30 minutes, 2 cards, not bad. Plus all the business. All right, now here's where we get a little wild and crazy, folks. Whoops. I got an extra gem. Okay, here's where we're gonna get a little crazy. Now, this month's kit coordinates with the Country Woods. Sorry, I didn't mean to hit the camera. This is the Country Woods Designer Series paper. This is found in the annual catalog, and it has so many cool patterns to it. I've used a bunch of it. You're gonna see some of it coming up through all of the class here from now on. But I'll just kind of give you you're just getting a snippet look of what's in this pack. But it, like I said, matches this kit and is super, super awesome. So I'm going to use this paper for our next card. Let me bring up my pieces here. Okay, let's see. What are we making? I have a whole bunch of pieces. So, and I'm going to talk about all the pieces that I've cut so far. And I'm going to start with one of the card bases from the kit. And I'm adding a couple pieces of designer series paper from that Country Woods pack. These are the two sides I'm going to use. Let me throw them over on the other side so you can see. Ah, look at that. Recognize it? I think it came, I don't know what came first, the Paper Pumpkin Kit design or the DSP design. But there's that paper right there. And then we have some DSP here. Okay. Both from that pack. The card that we're going to make is going to be a kickstand card. And we haven't done a kickstand card in a while, but the thing I love about a kickstand card is it's going to give you two benefits. One, it's going to give you a little bit more real estate for stamping and showing off your skills. And then the second thing that you benefit from is it's going to show multiple sides of your paper. Okay, so that is what we're going to start with. So let's start with our cut for our kickstand card. Okay, so my paper cutter here, get my garbage off there. I'm going to put the left edge here at 1 1/4. Okay, I'm at 1 1/4, and I am going to put a cut in my card base here, and I'm going to stop at the score line. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing. Now I'm going to put the right edge at the 1 1/4 over on this side so that this has, some room to kind of butt up against. Have a little bit more leverage. And I'm going to do the same thing, and you're going to stop at the score line. That's it for your cutting. Talk about a simple, the mechanics are easy here. Now we can go ahead and for now, I'm going to just bend this one backwards and not the other one, okay? And I'm going to give this a little bit of a score. I burnish the score. And I'm going to take my DSP here. This is the Country Woods DSP, and I have cut this to be 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. So it's a pretty tight fit on here. It's going to leave just a little bit of a gap right there and a little one at the bottom. When you glue this, you're going to want to glue it. Don't glue the whole thing because this is all going to show. So just put your glue. Okay, glue is going to go on these two side panels, wings, whatever you want to call them. Okay, so I'm just adding my glue. And now I'm going to center my piece so I have just that tight little frame all the way around. Now you could have done 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, but you would have needed to have taken just a smidgen off because it's going to bulk up right there in the center. Okay, I made a grave mistake. Hold on. This needed to fold that way. Okay, hopefully you didn't glue yours down. Shades of Frames and Flowers technique time. So yes, that needed to have folded on top, not below, so that it can be on top now. Does that make sense? So, and the reason I like to just fold one of the sections back and not fold these yet is it helps to maintain the integrity, because once you score them, they kind of have a tendency to bow in. So, yeah, that's why I do that. Okay, now you can take the whole thing and burnish the whole thing. So hopefully I haven't totally confused you guys, but I think you've got it. But look at that now. So now I have my card front, second card front, the inside. And that's where we're seeing that second use of the DSP, right? So kind of cool. We get to see that again. So, and what's fun is we've got it going a little bit of everywhere. Now, I toyed with the idea on this card of actually putting the white in the front, but would have meant that this panel would have been white, which would have been okay because you could have put another panel of wood on it, right? So anyhow, all right, with this piece of DSP, this is also 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. This one's going to come inside. Okay, So that's going to come in right there. And yes, I'm putting some wood paper in here, and I intentionally have the grain of the wood going across so that you can still write on this. I think it would be super cool looking. It doesn't have to be, you know, exactly white paper, right? So let's glue this one in as well. And then let's decorate this card. Let's bring it to life. Okay, nice. Now, you see I have a pile of stuff here. And you're like, what is all that stuff? So what I have here, I have the thanks. I've die cut some different pieces. You know, here's another piece of the tungsten, and here's from one of the dark woods. This is actually a leftover piece that I cut off from a card. But all of these over here, I have some leaves from the kit. We're going to use that. But these pieces here, oops, looks like I have one of the labels from the kit. These pieces here are from the Country Birdhouse dies. Not the stamp set, I'm just using some of the dies. These are the ones I used. There's more to the set. But I'm using the Country Birdhouse dies because they are part of the suite where you find this Country Woods DSP. And you know what else is in that suite? The Smoky Slate Basic Gray Pearls are part of this suite. So why am I showing you this suite? Because this is the suite. These are some of the dies that will be featured in my upcoming Country Woods camp. So it's going to be fabulous. You saw those sneak peeks. Maybe I will bring that in one more time since we're talking about Country Woods. My Country Woods Stamp Camp, it's coming. I'd love you all to be there. I'll just give you a quick, these were the sneak peeks that I did this morning when I first started of more of that camp. But that's why I wanted to show this, is to kind of tie it into this kit as well as my camp. So this card, while this whole Paper Pumpkin kit is geared towards, you know, more of a masculine look, I'm going to take this one and make it a little bit more, it could still be for a guy, but it'll have a little bit of a feminine feel to it. So I have die cut the birdhouse from the Country Woods DSP, and that we're going to lay there, but for right now we're going to build it up. And these are also other pieces from the kit. There is a roof. And so I have the roof cut from the DSP, the dark brown, and that's going to go there. So let's glue that one on first. What do you guys think of this DSP? I think it's really cool. And it can go in so many directions. I think it can be masculine. It can be feminine. It can be earthy. Man, think how cool this could kind of be for Christmas. You know what else you could do? Rather than making this a birdhouse, kind of chop this off. Speaking of Christmas, it could be a gingerbread house. It could be a dog house. You decide. I'm trying to think a gingerbread house for Christmas. Trying to think what else, other types of houses. So this is also another piece of that wood. And this die, like I say, all of these dies I'm using are from that set. But look how cool this is looking. Kind of fun, right? Oh, you guys, I didn't even see all these comments. It just stuck on one. Okay. Laura, you're funny. I had to scroll to kind of catch up with your comments. I'll have to go back and see what you guys were saying. Sorry about that. It just sometimes if it'll stop. It doesn't keep scrolling and showing you things. So, okay. It was 1 1/4, Terry. You are right. So yes, my slits are at 1 1/4 on each side. All right, so I think I should have done the other side. Oh well. We're just going to do another piece of the Coastal Cabana. I wanted to use the lighter side, but that's okay. The glue's already on this one. But what a fun little added dimension there to build this little birdhouse. Okay, whoops, sorry, I didn't mean to hit the camera. And now the tray, there's a separate die for this as well. I'm going to just kind of leave the tray a little bit open. I'm still gluing it on, but this will allow me to tuck some leaves in there. Okay, so just like that, we have a very cute woodsy birdhouse. Let's add some dimensionals to the back of this. Okay. I think I will put some out there just because it's DSP, and you know, cardstock would be a different story. It might not need so many, but because it's just DSP, it needs a little bit of extra support. All right. So, all right, just so you know, I have a whole bunch of the DSP. I already have it. I bought it when I saw it was on low because I knew I was using it in my camp. So I have lots of it. We'll have plenty for camp. If you need some, let me know. Okay, here goes my birdhouse. And I know it's super symmetrical right now, but we'll fix that in just a second here with our leaves and things. So our leaves are going to go, I'm going to do I have this scrap left over here from other projects already popped out. When you guys buy your paper pumpkin kits, I'm just curious, do you buy one kit? This one, I actually had 2 of it. Just curious how many you guys have. You thought the same thing. Yes, I know there's a bunch because it's such a cool suite. That's why. I mean, it's so good. Okay, so I've got my my wild wheat. I don't think I'm going to use the pool party on this one. I'm going to use this blue one because the pool party is just too big. It's also a little rigid, you know, it's a little stiff. And so this is why I wanted to keep this so that I could kind of tuck in there. And I feel like I have this on the wrong angle, but that's okay. It's just going to have to, it already glued down. I want to kind of rotate it just a little bit. Okay. Alicia, you got 3 packs. It was also pre-order. Yeah. And that's why it kind of went fast. I hear ya. Okay. I may have to trim that because I'm not quite in love with how far that's sticking out. It's a little bit much. In fact, I think I'm just going to watch this, folks. Woohoo! I'm just ripping it apart. But it's just a little too volsumped. That's a word my former boss would use a lot, meaning it's too heavy looking, too big, too much. So just going to pull that right out of there. Okay. And we'll just tuck it back in there. Oh, that's much better. Just didn't want quite so much. Hello, Alana. Okay, now for the flowers, what I want to do is, these are from this die. They're from the birdhouse dies, but I'm going to take my bone folder here and just in my hand, I'm going to just curl it, give it some quick curl rather than having to like curl each, rather than having to curl each one of the, petals. I'm like, what are those things on flowers? Okay, now I'm pretty sure I'm going to do another right there. Maybe, maybe not. I forgot to do some of my stamping. Hopefully I can still do it. Yep, I'll be able to. I'm just trying to give you an idea of where this is going, where I'm taking it. Something like that for the front. However, we're going to add the best, you're the best there is. We're going to add that image. And I'm going to add the image in Early Espresso. So here is, now I just kind of have to pull my little, oh, that one's already glued. Oh, well. Pull my pieces off, and then this is just going to stamp right inside there. Cute. Cute, cute. Yep, stamp right on that DSP. Now I'm going to, I'm just going to trim this down a little bit. It's just a little big for what I want to do. In fact, maybe, so I've just chopped some off. Scale-wise, it feels a little big for this birdhouse. Good, 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 good. Okay, let's glue all these pieces in, and we will be done with the front. Okay, I gotta cover up my wreck right there. We'll cover up the wreck with a little bit of floral, right? Just like that. So that's a big one right there. And I'm gonna do a small one right there as well. I know it did fit perfect in there, didn't it, Rose? And the thing is, it could be so many, you know, there's all kinds of colors you could choose from too, you know. Come on. It doesn't want to stay. There we go. Let's glue this one in. It's interesting that sometimes things are just kind of meant to be. It's like, I know they didn't plan that, but it just kind of worked out, right? Okay, let's do this big guy right in there. Kind of anchor those elements. And let's bring in the gems that are part of the Sweet collection. Look, I have one right there. I'm going to use it. The one that was stuck to my hand. Okay, so the big ones are a little big for the insides of these flowers. So I am using the smaller ones for both sides, for the small and the larger flower. Okay. Hey. Cooperate. It's like, no, I'm gonna go over here and be a part of it over here. So I like to give these just a final little push once I know where that I like where they are. Give them a little push, give your flowers a little zhuzh, and there is the front of our card. I still feel like this guy is a little big, but that's okay. Now let's move to second card. That's what I love about this layout. Second card front. And for the second card front, I'm going to use one of these labels here. And we're going to stamp this label. I'm going to bring in a piece of colored paper just so I can see what I'm doing. We're not using this. It's just so I have some contrast. And I'm going to use the image that says, with love and admiration to the most amazing person. And I'm going to stamp that with the Early Espresso. Bring that back in. So I'm just keeping it easy, folks. In that my stamp colors, I'm just going to kind of stay consistent. Okay. Simple. There's that. Okay, that second color of paper absolutely helps. All right, so this one's going here. And I had in my stash of stuff, just, you know, do you ever just keep things that are remnant of things you don't end up using? Well, this is just that. This is actually, it was the crumb cake twine from the Simply Essentials or Essentials twine. It's a 5-pack. And I colored it with my dark boho blue Stampin' Blend. And look, I have a bunch of them. So I'm going to use this on this card here. And I'm just going to do a bow. Okay. Nothing fancy, nothing major. Just do that bow. And I'm going to put this on with dimensionals, and then we'll also add this and give it a trim, and that will be on this second layer here. Keeping the inside fairly clean and straightforward, not too much craziness. Okay, so the question of the hour is if I put this here, and I'm just going to kind of lightly put this down, you want to make sure that it's hiding behind your kickstand, right? So that's in there. And so, you know, do you want to just kind of tuck it there so that when this is shut, a little bit of that kind of pops out? That is my goal there. Just need to make this like just a little bigger. Okay, and I'm going to tighten it. And then with a glue dot, the glue dots in this kit are massive. Ooh, what big glue dots you have. Sorry, folks. I'm talking to myself. It's great. You guys leave comments, but oh boy. Danger. She might say something really lame. Okay, these are, I wonder, oh, I know why they're bigger. They go behind the leaves. See, I mean, I rarely use them the way they're, you know, you're directed to use them, right? Okay, so there goes my bow. It's a little big, but it's kind of intentional so that it kind of tucks back in there, but that it shows from the front as well. So you do it as big or as small as you want. Or not at all. Make that side just a little smaller. And I'm going to kind of wiggle that in. Kind of went in a lot further than I thought it was going to go. And then I'm going to trim my ends so that they're even. So I'm just going to pull them straight out and give them a quick haircut. And there you have that second layer. Now, since we have some pearls there, let's go ahead and add some to this layer. So you could be strategic about it and maybe add like one here, you know, trying to look at, you know, do I want them on the outside or do I just want them to not show from the front? This card, you know, might not work to work it that way, but sometimes when I have stuff that partially shows, I might have like a gem here. Let's just kind of play with it. So if I do another one here, okay, so I'm kind of working off this one. So I go 1, 2, and then maybe we do another one right there. But I'm not pushing down hard on them because I might want to move them, because how does it look with this? How is it in relation to what's going on here? I think it's fine. So what I might do is add another one like over here. Okay, let's add another big because I have way more bigs than I do littles. So if I put this here, it's not going to show from the front, but it kind of plays off of this. Now, or do I want to move this over just a little further? Get this one up, shut my front, and then maybe bring this one to here. And that works as well. So you play with where you want to put them. Okay. Let me scroll back just a little bit. Popping in for a minute and just got a sneak peek at the cover. Ooh, I love it. We'll watch replay when you can. Okay, that would be great, Antoinette. All right, so there is the kickstand. There's second card. Now let's tackle the inside. So my plan for the inside is really quite simple. I'm just going to take and repeat some of the leaf images here. I'm going to cut this off so that I can just kind of poke this inside. See if I can poke it inside. I know I didn't glue too close to the edge. Okay, so I've got a little peek in there. And then I'm going to add some more flowers. I am going to curl them. Now they'll flatten out, but I'm still going to give them some dimension. So a little floral work there. Okay. Maybe one right in there. We'll put the pearls in there. And then look, I have some of these left over. So I just need to decide if I want to kind of do the thanks up here or the thanks over here, you just kind of play with it. And I think I'm going to make this smaller, just like I did the other one. It's a little big. But now playing off of color-wise, the brown, because the brown was our color on, you know, our other greetings. I kind of like the espresso. So, I mean, it could come, you know, we could take it a little off center. We could bring that down, bring it right into here, and kind of play with it this way. And I think I have another flower here. I have two more. So, you know, just kind of playing with what you want to do on the inside. It's kind of the name of the game here. I think I'm going to do something like that. Okay, so let's just kind of glue things down. And then that leaves this entire bottom panel as space for you to write whatever you'd like. So, and I'm going to center this. Most typically I would want to like break the line here. But because our other greetings are centered, I'm going to keep it centered. So I'm just going to write in there. And I maybe could have benefited from this and raised that up and gave it a little bit more dimension, but that's okay. Then we'll add this piece here. This piece to me looks very coastal. It looks beachy. Not only because it's blue, but the shape of it has more of a coral cut to it. Okay, let's just tuck that in there. It's gonna get glue all over. Okay, but I'll put a flower on it. You'll never see the glue, if you know what I mean. So we'll do that there. And we'll do these over here. And this one right there. Okay. So I have an extra flower and another thanks. I can stick that in my stash. Let me just kind of give these a little push to really get that glue to engage. And come back to my pearls that I've been using. And we will use the smalls. And I think this time I'm using the smoky slate. Oh, nope, that's not smoky slate. That's the basic gray. I can't tell the colors apart anymore. That's the lighter one. You can mix them. Who says they have to all be the same? I've even colored these so that they were a slightly different color. I gave some a more purple color to them the other day. Okay, there is the inside. And of course, if you want to give it a little sparkle, she's in the house, folks. Stella is here. And there you have it. I'm just kind of putting some things away real fast so I can clear it and give you a full look at our, kickstand card here. So there it is, featuring the birdhouse dies and the countryside woods. Countryside? It's just country woods. So that's how the card kind of, can stand. You've got that extra little kickstand here. So there's the front flap, that second card, and then the inside. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. Simple. Okay, now what I'm going to move to is I'm going to share with you the projects that were shared. We're going to make the 2 projects that were shared on Stampin' Up's, on their alternatives video, which was last Tuesday. So last Tuesday they did the alternatives for the best there is. So I'm going to do my slide and lock, or I call it a sliding buckle card, because this makes like a belt buckle. Anyhow, so we have that, and then we're also going to do the mini album. Now, I don't have either of those here. So we're going from the PDF. Now, if you're a demonstrator, the PDF is on the Paper Pumpkin Demonstrator Connection. I'm going to post the PDF when I post these photos, so you'll be able to find it there. The pearls that I just used, These are the Basic Gray and Smoky Slate Pearls. They are part of the Country Woods Sweet Collection. And they're fabulous. Is it Country Woods? Country Blooms? I don't know. Country Birdhouse, Country Flower, Country Woods. I think that's the name of it. So yes, that's where these came from. They're really cool. They're big, but they're cool. They're different. Okay, so let's make the card first. And let's see what we're going to need for this. I have a whole pile of stuff here. We're going to need 2 card bases for this card. We're going to need one of the blue ones and one of the crumb cake. Now, do not fold on either of these score lines, okay? We're not going to fold on the score lines at all. Instead, we're going to bring our trimmer in and we're going to make new score lines. So my first score line on this is going to be at 2 3/4. So let me get my cutting blade out of sight, out of mind, right? So, and I'm just checking my notes here. So we have to turn in a PDF to Stampin' Up! Of all the products we've used, and then key talking points, and then, if I have any other things. So the key talking points on this include the instructions. So 2 3/4, I'm glad I wrote it down because I'd have been like, I don't remember what I did. We're going to score at 2 3/4, and then we're going to score at 7, okay? 2 3/4 and 7. Okay, so that's enough for this one. And now we're going to fold on the 2 new score lines, keeping this one intact. Do not fold on the original. So let's go there, and we'll flip it over and burnish the new score lines. Okay, so there's my card base. Easy, easy, easy. This one here, we're going to stamp first, and then we're going to cut it to line the inside of this card. And the reason I lined the inside of this card with a color rather than like white, because our basic white doesn't match, right? It's a little different. So I went with a color light enough that would be able to be written on, but you need that layer in there to kind of put a splint across this score line. Okay, but let's stamp this first before we line that card. So let me grab some scratch paper here. Here's my scratch paper. Here's this. We're going to use the tree stamp. And I'm going to stamp the tree in, you could stamp it in Early Espresso. You could stamp it in Misty Moonlight. I think I originally stamped it in Early Espresso or Crumb Cake. I don't remember. We're going to do Crumb Cake because Early Espresso is going to be a little dark. I don't remember what I did. But we're going to repeat stamp with the trees image, this double trees image. And we're just going to kind of, work ourselves across. And so I'm just going to kind of start right about here. I'm stamping off the edge. So there's some, and we'll just kind of keep going. Come down here. And we're just going to kind of, high, low. Come back up. It doesn't really matter. It's all going to mix and match. And then let's flip it over, and I'm going to do the same thing. However, this time I'm not going to do quite so much. I'm going to stamp a little bit more off the edge, okay? So just adding some texture up there. Sometimes higher, sometimes lower. Okay, that's it. We're done with that. Now, with this piece, we're going to chop it up. And so what I need is I need a piece. The first thing we're going to do is cut right from one side here. We're going to cut a piece that's going to be 4 1/8. Okay? So there's 4 1/8. And now I'm going to turn it and take 1/8 of an inch off the bottom. Okay? So it's now 5 3/8. And I made a boo-boo. I pushed the scoring blade and it totally just mucked up my paper there. Okay, it's a little rough. So I didn't have pressure on my cutting blade. And it just was, anyway. So I got a little bit of a boo-boo there. Okay, this piece here is gonna go in the middle, okay? And then we're gonna cut 2 pieces for our sides. So this piece here is going to be, it's gonna be 2 5/8. So we need a 2 5/8 inch piece. Let me work this way because I've got that score line that I don't want. So 2 5/8. And I want to trim a little off this bottom, so I need it to be 5 3/8 inches tall. So just take a little off the bottom. And I'm taking off the bottom because the top was already stamped pretty, you know, we kept it pretty shy on that side. So that's that. And then this one here is going to be, let me just do a quick measure. It's going to be 1 3/8. Now, do you ever get like fuzz balls? It's cardstock down in the groove of your trimmer. I needed to get rid of that. So 1 3/8, and I'm going to double check that it's 1 3/8. Yes, okay. I just had to, you know, measure twice, cut once kind of thing. 1 3/8. Okay, so that's how I've gotten rid of that score line. And then we'll take and make this 5 3/8. And now these will simply glue to the inside of our card. And we've solved our issue for this score line here. Okay, we're gonna just cover that right up. So let's add this in with some glue. Or a lot of glue. All right, so there's that one. So once I finish this card, folks, if you're wondering, I will be moving to the mini album coupon book, which will be fun to take a look at. It's actually pretty easy to make. You don't have to have everything I'm using. You might want to just grab some envelopes if you want to just make a sample for yourself, and some DSP. Envelopes, DSP, and then the cardboard, the chipboard that comes in our Paper Pumpkin kits. Okay, so here's the inside. Mechanics. Okay, it's decor, but at the same thing, I have, you know, made that center score line go away. Okay, so yeah, there's one on the back, but at least it's not going to bend on you, okay? Okay, well, while we're talking about the inside, let's just finish the inside decor, okay? And I'm going to finish it. We're going to use one of the cut-off labels, you know, from the kit, and I'm going to stamp it with, let's stamp it with Misty Moonlight, and let's also do that two-tone effect. We're going to use the Best There Is. Let me give this one a quick clean. And I'm going to use Misty Moonlight. So we've got some Misty on the top portion. And then we'll kick up the bottom with Early Espresso. It's easier to blend with with a full-size ink pad rather than this little spot, but I can see I'm missing kind of right in there, so I'm going to add a little bit more to the B. I think that's better. And we'll get a little bit more of the, oh, that's wild wheat. Shoot, Queen. Wrong color. That's going to make that funny green. I thought, why isn't it not looking right? Okay, we got to get the right colors in here. Sorry, folks. We want Early Espresso. So let's get the Misty Moonlight going one more time. Sorry for the delay. I can't even speak. Blend in a little bit of early espresso, and we'll stamp our tag. It's a little hard to see what I'm doing, white on white. There's that. Cool. I like it. I like it a lot. That two-tone effect. Now, on my original, I used the Glossy Dots assortment, but I don't have those with me today. So I'm going to use my pearls. But the Glossy Dots assortment has a yellow and Pool Party. And the yellow, I think it's crushed curry, but boy, it can pass as, it totally can pass as wild wheat. But I used one of the, right here on the original card, I used one of those Pool Party Glossy Dot assortments, and it looked great. Anyhow, let's put some dimensionals on this. And we're going to just set this kind of right in here. I'm giving myself an even border on the right and the top, or close to it. So, and the reason I'm putting it here, you'll see in just a moment, that lines up with, it coordinates with this opening here. There's always a method to the madness in my mind. All right, so that's the inside. Now we need to create the buckle, the sliding buckle. And so I'm going to be using some elements from the kit. Let's just punch some of these out, get these going, right? Okay. Sometimes this can take, trying to be careful with it. It can take a few seconds here. You can't just go and pop it out, right? You have to kind of be gentle. Nicole says, you run it through your Xyron with magnetic sheets. Okay, hold on. I didn't catch what. Oh, I see. The chipboard is useful for so many things. And then Nicole, are you saying the chipboard you make, that's a smart die. Smart thing. You'll have to explain it more, but I think I've got your vision. Cool. Okay. So we don't need that. So I've got some leaves popped out here. We're going to use the wild wheat, and let's see. Do I have another leaf? I want a Pool Party. Let's see what's left in my stash. Whoops, that's not it. My stash is under here. Nope, I don't have any more Pool Party leaves. Okay, well, we're going to just do it with the other color. Originally, I used the Pool Party, but for this one, we'll use the Pool Party and the blue. You're also going to need one of these from the kit. We're using that. Do you remember the tungsten color that we used? So I have the Thanks and Beyond. This already has a crumb cake behind it. You know, if I feel like it needs a little more lift, I may add a third. I'm not quite sure. And then you're going to need to use your die from Thanks and Beyond and cut yourself one from the piece of, that's one of the pieces from the kit. That is not part of the paper. Let me show you that piece. It's this one right here. Like you can see what I'm holding. Here it is. So you can see right where I cut it from. So you're going to die cut one of these pieces from the kit. And then from an envelope, I have cut 3 more of these hexagons, the stitched hexagons, okay? With 2 of them, we're going to fold them right in half. So you don't need your score and everything. Just line it up and fold in half. Look at all the glue on my fingers. Get that off. So 2 of them, fold them in half. Right down the center. Okay. And so what we're going to do is we are going to make a sandwich. I'm going to flip this one upside down, and we're going to add glue to this whole thing. Okay, so there we have glue to the whole thing. And I'm going to take my piece that I have folded in half, and put that on one side. So the fold is in the center. Hello, let's get it to the center, girl. There we go. And then we'll take this one and the fold will go to the center as well. Just like that. So now you have your top piece and then you have these two that were folded in half. I'm going to give this a nice burnish. Okay. And the last thing we're going to do for this, we're going to now put glue on these two sides and we will seal it up with our fourth hexagon, it's our third envelope paper one. Did I make that clear that these three that are this color are from the envelope paper? So you could do it from the kit, or you could use paper from the Country Woods DSP that coordinates with the kit. So there is my buckle right there. That is it, okay? Now, this is how this works. Okay, so I'm just kind of training it just a little bit. Is you're going to take your card here. Let me turn this around. I like that side better. And you're just going to start by slipping one side through, and then you'll slip the other side through as well. Once you do it a couple times, then it kind of, so you can see that this is just going to slide up and down. Yet it's not going to fall off because it's connected in both front and back. Okay, now before we actually start decorating this side, I want to stamp this side. So with this side, I'm going to take this greeting here with love and admiration, and I'm going to stamp it in the Early Espresso, just right down the center of this. And I hope that was Early Espresso. It wasn't. It was Wild Wheat. Shoot, Queen. That's okay. You can still read it. I would have really wanted it to be the other color. But that's okay. I just wanted you to know that there's a greeting back there. And I'm going to, so Stampin' Up! Has a few photos. I have even more photos than what they used. So I will be posting more today. And you'll see details of that. Okay, so we'll slide that into place right there. And now let's decorate this. And I'm going to decorate this with one of these. I'm going to turn this around because I've got some showing right there. Or maybe I'll just trim that. Hold on. So, are they foam sheets, Nicole? I had to do a little haircut. It was bugging me. Okay, this one is going to glue to the front here. All right. And I do believe we're actually going to use this one and one more. Okay, if I remember. And it's because I wanted to hide my mechanics. Okay, so from the back, I didn't want to see the leaves. So I have one here just in case if the back looks goofy. Okay, so this is going to attach here, and I'm going to attach it, I said glue, but we're going to use dimensionals. This is going to get rather puffy, but that's okay. But just kind of know where you're going to put your dimensionals so that they don't show. So I'm just doing two because the bottom's going to hang over the edge, like so. Okay, and now we're going to take our leaves and glue them inside. Whoops. Leaves and linen thread we're going to tuck in there. So let's start with the leaves. And I'm going to start with the wild wheat. And I'm probably going to cut them apart just so that I can finagle them just a little bit more. And let's put this on the card so that we can see where our leaves are going. And the reason the card, you know, you could do this buckle right down the middle if you wanted, but I have it offset to the right so that my leaves, and my label here is not straight. Now it is. So that my leaves could hang over this edge here. So I can get lots of action going in here. I'm going to trim this down. I know they put these circles here and it made it very handy, but they kind of get in the way. And my dimensional is in the way. So we've got a leaf there. And I'm going to do the same thing, just kind of chop this down. And a leaf right up in here. Okay? So my original, I don't know if you guys can see it, was a pool party leaf. And it showed up just a little better, but I'm out of pool party leaves. But you're just going to use halves. Okay? Just halves. And then a little linen thread, or if you want to do the crumb cake twine from that Essentials pack, that looks great with this kit as well. But I'm going to do linen thread. Even up my ends. Didn't quite even up my ends. Not even close. It's a little funny. Okay. Okay. So, a great anniversary card for your, oh, cute. I like it. Okay, so this is going to kind of reach in there as well. And the other thing, let me turn that. Give this a little bit more show on this side. Anyhow, I'm not going to glue all this because you guys know how to glue, but you get the idea. That's how that's going to go. We're going to add some gems. And again, originally I used the Glossy Dots assortment that had the perfect color for this, that pool party. And so I did a pool party gem. And it was fun because that pool party really picked up pool party here. But I did a gem here, a large, and then a small, right about here. And then I'm going to pick up another right up in here. Okay. So those are where my gems were. Now, you'll want to make sure that, when this is all glued, that your mechanics look okay. If your mechanics are okay, great. If not, you might have to rework things to cover those, but I think you should be okay. Now, we are not quite done. The last touch to this is that plays right across the bottom right there. And I love how this, the Glossy Dots assortment was nice, but I'm really loving how these basic gray and smoky slate are picking up on this paper. Looks really good. I didn't have those when I first made the card. Okay. Any questions on this one? Shoot a comment. It's a pretty easy concept once you know it. Oh man, I got glue on my foil here, but we talked about that earlier today. So I will attack that glue, not with an adhesive remover, but with an alcohol swab. Okay, and so there you have it, folks. Kind of fun. That's the one that I sent in to Stampin' Up. That's how I made it, or similar. And I'll glue those pieces in just a few minutes, but you guys know how to glue, and I don't want to spend a ton of time on that. So the thanks font is fantastic, nice and chunky. The Chunky's fine. You know why Chunky's fine? Because there's a candy bar named Chunky, right? So that was that one. Now I want to move on to my second project, which was, it's an easy envelope mini album. It's a coupon book that converts to a keepsake. And I wish that they had mentioned that when they did the alternatives, because I'm sure people were going, why does it say car wash? Why does it say babysit? So I'm going to show you exactly what it was. Now, the PDF that I'm going to load, that Stampin' Up! Loaded on the Paper Pumpkin Demonstrator Connection, does have a step-by-step instruction how to create the book. I'm going to share with you how to make the book. It's pretty easy. I don't have the book to share it with you. They don't send them back once you send them in. But I can easily make another one because I have all the pieces ready to go right here. All right, so here's what you're gonna need. Let's start. So in your Paper Pumpkin kit, the chipboard that comes, you're gonna cut 2 pieces of chipboard that are going to be, you're gonna love this measurement, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Oh, we know that measurement, super easy. So you need 2 of those, and you need 2 envelopes from the kit. Now, if you're not using this kit to make a sample of this album, any 2 envelopes that are this size, are the size for our normal size. Okay? And you're gonna slide your chipboard in there, and we're gonna glue it shut. So you need 3 things for this book. You need covers, a binding, and pages. So far, here's our front cover, and here is our back cover. Okay, and you're just gonna seal it shut. Just like that. That was easy enough, right? Next easy step, you're going to cut a piece of DSP. Now, this piece of DSP can change, but I'm going to use this measurement, and it's going to work for 4 pages, okay? If you were going to add a page, then you would want to add another inch. So let me tell you this measurement. If you're using the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 size, you're going to need a piece of DSP that is 5 inches wide by 5 1/2 inches tall. And I'm going to double check. I am right. I did check everything, but I just want to be double sure. Okay, so 5 by 5 1/2. And you're going to want to score it every 1/2 inch. So easy, right? 5 by 5 1/2, score every 1/2 inch. And then I want you to fold it. You're going to do an accordion fold on that. Easy, easy, easy. Now, this is going to be the outside of the spine, and this is from the Country Woods DSP. There's the inside, that awesome turquoise color. But I used this side so that it would match the envelopes. It was kind of like a no-brainer, right? So I'm going to take my envelopes, and it doesn't really matter, but I am going to put the flap side. I'm going to put the flap sides towards the outside. So this is going to be the front cover. This will be the back cover. And it's going to kind of come together like this. So the flaps go to the inside. This piece here, we're going to actually flip it over. And I'm going to glue this edge here right on the edge of, it's going to go right there. We're just going to put it right on the very, very edge, okay? So you'll center it top, bottom, but you're going to put it to the edge. So let's do that one first. Just getting a little glue here. I don't want to go crazy. And kind of hard to see the edge of the envelope and the edge of your score line. But that's going to go right there. And I'm going to wiggle it just a little bit to get it just where I want it. Now, let's do the same thing to this side. Now, notice where my flap is. It's out. It's on the outside. I'm just kind of thinning up the bulk right there. So let's add our glue to the back of this flap. So this accordion piece is what I call the binding, okay? So we have covers, binding, and pages. Not too difficult. Cover, binding, and pages. We've just done the cover and the binding. I'm just trying to slide this in place. Okay, there's the cover and the binding. Easy, easy, easy. Now, to finish the binding, I'm going to do 2 more pieces of DSP just to cover the mechanics on this and to cover the flaps. And that will finish the binding. So these 2 pieces here, You can use either sides, whatever you like. I think I'm going to use this side. I'm going to put that to the back and this one to the front. Anyhow, these are more pieces of the Country Woods DSP. Easy size to remember. They are 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So I'm telling you, I want to stress the word easy on this. The other thing that makes this little book easy is I designed it, once I kind of came up with a layout that I liked, that was the layout and those were the measurements for every single page. I didn't deviate from that. It just kind of made things come together a little quicker. Okay, so I'm just covering, getting that placed where I like it. So now you can see we've covered our envelope flap, our binding, our binding here. Great. And let's do the same thing over here. So this concept of an accordion fold to hold your pages for a mini album, I think is really smart. And I don't know who came up with it. I didn't follow directions. I just kind of saw one and went, okay, I can do my own thing. And so that's what I've done here. But once you get the concept, you could make this bigger if you want to add more pages. You totally can. Okay, so binding, covers, check, check. They're both done. I didn't think it was too hard. All right, now for the pages. For the pages, you're going to love this measurement too, because it's also easy. Your measurements are, guess what? A standard card size. So you're going to go 8 1/2 by 5 1/2, score at 4 1/4. I'm telling you, this is an easy album. So I have 4 of these pre-cut and ready to go that are 8 1/2 by 4 1/4. I'm sorry, 8 1/2 by 5 1/2 scored at 4 1/4. So we're going to fold on each of these. Where did my bone folder go? It's hiding. Okay, score those. They're already scored. They're prepped. I love this paper right here. I love it, love it. It reminds me of the cowhide I have sitting next to me. And of course, this one's awesome too. This Coastal Cabana. All right, now you just kind of have to decide what order you want your pages. It doesn't totally matter. It's not too hard. The other thing that you might want to decide before you glue your pages in, if you want to maybe cut a frame in some of these, you would do that now because you can't do it once it's glued in. But I'm not going to cut a frame in any of them. I'm just going to keep it the way it is. Now, I don't remember which, like the order these went in. So I think I'm just going to start with this one right here. We'll start with this brown one. Okay, and you're going to open it up. And what I'm going to do is I am going to put glue just on this bottom edge of my card base, or the side edge. Okay, so there's just glue there. And I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. Sorry, I didn't mean to hit the camera. Okay, just glue on that edge. Look how cool this page is too. Now you're going to take your book here, and you're going to, and this is where you kind of went, I wish I had a couple hands here or had more hands than what I do. You're going to glue that. You're going to go right to the edge there. Hopefully you could see where I just went. But, and I'll hold this sideways and you'll totally get it in a second here. Okay, so what I did, hopefully you can see that. So I'm just putting my paper right over that. And I'm going to go right to the edge. And we'll just kind of burnish that adhesive. And so that's how the page stays in the binding. So each one of these little accordion bumps is another page. So you could see how I have room for 3 more pages. If I added another inch, that would have given me a 5th page, another inch, a 6th page, and so on. So that's all it is on these pages, folks. So I'll just kind of finish doing that. I've got some glue easing out over here. I've got a serious adhesive problem. Needs to be cleaned up. When it's thoroughly dry, I will go in there and get that adhesive remover in. Look, here's that piece from the birdhouse card we made. Love that there's some petal pink in there. Okay, so just some glue on this, on each of these outer edges. And just pick up, just kind of get it right in there to grab that front side. And then, so it feels a little fumbly, but once you get in a rhythm for it, you're fine. So let me give you another side view so you can see where that is. Now, what's cool is these are still open. So you could easily maybe glue the bottom and tuck things in, you know, maybe make a little scoop, you know, punch a little half circle and make these pockets if you wanted. I'm just giving you the base of this book here and how easy it is to put together. Okay, let's do a couple more pages here. This is a good color too. We used this on that birdhouse card, on the kickstand card. This pattern. You guys, I have glue all over my fingers. I'm sticking to the, sticking to everything. Oh, the joys of stamping. Sticky fingers, right? Oh. I have my camera a little close today, so that's why I keep hitting it. I apologize for that. Okay, that was page number 3, and here goes the last page, number 4. I actually think I may have used this side and not the coastal. You can't get your trimmer to cut chipboard. Kayleen, you cut it on one side and you flip it over and you cut the other side. That's what I do. Or I use your big chopper. Remember your old Stampin' Up! One? The guillotine. And it'd go through the chipboard just fine. Okay, so there's my last page. So there's the book. I'm telling you. Easy, easy, easy. So I should have timed it. I think I started this project at 11:24 and it's 11:37. I just bound a book, you guys. Look at that. So you can have some fun with that. Speaking of fun with that, let me, I do have all the photos. I took pictures of every page that I did, but, you know, here's just a couple of them. Okay, and I have some things that I want to share with you that I did. And I mentioned that I kept every layout, every page exactly the same. While the content was different, the measurements and layout and everything were the same. So I would start all of my photo mats, and all of the photos are on the right side of each page spread. And so all of my photo mats are, they are 3.5 by 4 3/4, and I cut all of the photos to be 3.25 by 4.5. I had to think about that. And then they're mounted like that. Okay, so easy, easy, easy. So here, and these are all pictures of my son Nicholas. And it was intended to be, like I say, a memento. So, but let me share. So I did that. Oh, look what I just found. I found more leaves. I found another sheet of leaves. Yeah. Yes, Nicole, I print my own photos. I print my own photos, and I just, you know, these are not fancy ones because, you know, sometimes, I mean, I've made this kid so many albums. The best one I ever made, he lost. I was like, what? That one took me hours. Anyhow, so I'm just going to turn the page because this front page I did just a little bit different because I had his name up at the top. But so if this were the next page, okay, what I did on this side is I had a piece of, let me find one of the card bases. So a piece, you know, one of the card bases, or you could use the paper, but all of these are the exact same size that are always going to be on the left side. And so these are smaller. They're intended to be smaller. These are 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. So 2 3/4 by 4 1/4 for the coupons. But what's important about the coupon is this. So I put my paper, every one of these that are 2 3/4 by 4 1/4, I put at 1 inch, and then you have to go slow, but I have the perforating tool here. And I put my perforating tool in the groove. Okay, I didn't push hard enough. You have to push hard enough for it to work. Okay. And I trained it just a little bit so that they could see that you know, it's a tear off, right? And what I did is I put this, you're going to go, why did you do that? But I have a dimensional that is just going to kind of be, I'm not going to pull the cover off, but I am going to glue this side down. Okay, this is what I did on all of these. Okay, pretend my page is glued, right? I mean, my photo is glued. And I just kind of did the same border. Okay, and that little dimensional kind of helps pop that up so that the recipient knows that there's a coupon here. Then I did this. I used the mini alphabet to make letters. And of course I picked a blue one and I cut my letters in blue. But you know, you can cut them in all different colors. So this one's kind of the wrong color for this. But so I had the word car wash, you know. So we're just going to do our letters backwards so that you can see them or not see them. You still can't see them. I picked the wrong color. Anyhow, so whatever you want to give is your coupon. So I had favorite barbecue, car wash, babysit, date night, that sort of thing so they could go out. And then I split some of the different greetings and put different greetings on different pages. So like this one I did, the larger one, you could still rip it. You can see that rip line right there. Oh, day of play. So they go out and have a day of play. But so each page, so let's stamp a greeting for this. Let's do Happy Father's Day. I can't remember exactly what I did on each page. Like I said, I'm going to show you what I did. So you can, I'll post all of the pages so you can get a feel for the theme and variation, but same measurements through everything. Okay. I keep thinking this is early espresso. I should really just shut the wild wheat pad. But this would come in here with dimensionals. Okay. So let me just take a couple dimensionals here. And so then you would put your letters that you can't see. I apologize. And on each page, I did just a portion. It looks like I have a portion right here. I did a portion of the leaves on each page. So every page is the same. Okay. Photo and mat, same size throughout the book. Okay. Coupon page, smaller. All right. But when this is torn out, okay, I didn't do a very good job perforating, but so when this is torn out, the coupon's gone, but I still have some decor. And so, you know, if you picture that part pulled away, it would just leave our greeting, right? And I used different greetings. I kind of split this greeting all up into different things. It kind of reads throughout the book. I'll show you the book in the order of the pages. Anyhow, so that was how I put the coupon book together. It's really quite simple. You saw covers, binding, pages, all right? All in very, very familiar measurements. Then just keep your layout the same throughout the book so that you can make it quickly. And that way you could even do, you know, change the pictures up and make one for your dad or your brother, your son. You can kind of do the same thing, but have a different, you know, different pictures in there and they each get their own. So if you have questions, please reach out to me and I'll show you how I did it. I guess I should probably show you the cover. The cover was really easy. I will post the cover. So let me just share with you how I made the cover. The cover was very easy, you guys. Very, very easy. And all it is one of these layers here. And you need this layer here. However, this is actually the same size. Oh no, it's already smaller. Okay. I lied. These layer together. Okay. And then I did, and I don't have any left, but if you have your, a couple months ago, we had all these wood elements, right? And so my original, I had a tree that I sent to Stampin' Up. All right. But look how cool the leaf looks as well. And I did do a couple, I trimmed, obviously it didn't have all of that on it, right? And I have some leaves. I have one of each color tucked behind here. So you would add your leaves. And again, I will promise you I will share with this, but I just, you can see all those leaves in there. So there's the pool party, the blue and the wheat. And then I tied linen thread, or you could use the crumb cake. I think I originally used the crumb cake. And then put a tag on here. So a tag from the kit. And that it kind of just hung right down there. I don't have the same linen thread, but actually I put my linen thread wrapped around this way. Okay, so I had my bow in here. You guys are like, why doesn't she finish her projects? Because you guys are so smart. And I just don't want to go too far over time. So anyhow, I will post the pictures of exactly how I did it. My goal was to teach you how to make the mini album itself. Okay, and just remember the 3 steps: covers, binding, pages, and you'll be set to go. Plus, I will post the PDF of the instructions how to make the album itself. Okay, so there's a step-by-step written up for you. Okay, so reach out if you do have questions. I'm glad you like this mini album, Valerie, even though it looks pretty atrocious right here. I will finish this one up, but I wanted to give you an idea how to actually construct the book. So, all right. Thanks for joining us. Let's see. What have we made today? Well, we haven't finished a mini album. That's okay. And big stretch here. We have our sliding buckle card that needs a little glue, but you saw how that one worked. And then we did 3 that you have never seen today. We did our kit only with a little bit of linen thread. And we did a super simple graphic thanks card. And then we did our kickstand card using the birdhouse. So I hope you've got some ideas brewing in your mind for things that you can make. And I look forward to meeting with you next week to use up our sweet thoughts, memories, and more. If you have any ideas or questions, shoot them out to me. Join our Country Woods Stamp Camp. It's going to be a blast. And I will see you guys next week in the Backstage Pass. Thanks for joining me today. I truly appreciate all of you. Bye-bye.